Okay. Hi. I'm going to talk with Narendra again today for another topic, and we thought we'd talk about healing today. A lot of people have been around healing and know about healing and have a lot of questions around it. And one question that comes to mind is, why are some people healed and some are not?
It's a very good question because it's like anything else in life. Uh, you go to a doctor, for example, so you have to have an open mind to be one to receive the medicine or at least get tested. And then he is, per se, the healer. He can only help you if you are open. So if we are talking about supernatural healing process, then there's a receiver, is the person who is sick or has a health condition. And there's a person who is becoming the instrument of healing, if I may use that word, instrument of healing. Both have to be prepared. When both are prepared and the connection is made, then the healing takes place. If one of them is closed, then it will not work. If the person goes there not with an open heart, not with an open mind, then it's not going to work. Very similar to you go to doctor's office, he gives you the medicine, but you don't open your mouth, then you will not be able to take advantage of the medicine. But at the same time, who is giving you the healing? That person also has to be somewhat qualified or at least capable of delivering that supernatural healing gift or vibration or energy, whatever we want to call it. So when both of them are prepared and ready, then this healing takes place.
Okay. And you kind of said something about helping the healing. So do you consider yourself a healer? And if so, why or why not?
No, I don't look at myself as a healer. And in my opinion, I've seen a lot of people and I met a lot of healers and I worked with quite a few of them. And it's a serious mistake to call yourself healer. Because what happens in that situation, if you're going to take somebody's health problem away, energetically speaking, then what happens is, if you're going to get in the middle of it, then chances are that thing's going to, parts of it or all of it might stick to you. And that's the risk you run. So it's from that perspective, it's not a very good approach to healing when somebody calls himself of the healer. But on the other side, it's better to work with spiritual masters like Jesus Christ or Yogananda or Buddha, because what happens is they have ability to take this negative conditioning of a person energetically and spiritually using supernatural power that they are gifted with. In that case, when they are not physically present, so one of their instruments can be used for transmitting that healing energy. And that's what results in powerful healing. And that's why you turn on the television on a Sunday, a lot of places you see when the people are healing in name of Jesus Christ, and that is the main reason for it.
Oh, so this brings up a lot of other questions I could think of. Let me start with, what would you consider to be like the root cause, or is that important to know, or what can you say around that topic of root cause of illness?
Now that brings in a very interesting twist on the healing, because you will also see that a lot of times, and there are many documented cases where people have been healed, but if you really follow these people using their social security numbers or driver's license or however, some reliable way of tracking them, in many cases the health problem came back. And it has happened. It has happened. And it happens because what really happens is, for us to understand how the healing takes place, if you look at ordinary allopathic medicine, for example, if somebody is having a problem with a part or body part or an organ, they surgically remove it, remove the block or remove the problem, but they have only done it using physical tools. But doctors are not necessarily going back and talking to the patient, look, this is how you caused it in the first place.
Uh-huh.
So the permanent healing will only take place when a person has fully understood the root cause. And the root cause for most people is the way we are thinking, and way we are feeling, and the way the kind of things we are carrying in our own spirit.
So you believe that those items could be the root cause? How would a person pinpoint those three areas within themselves, or are they capable of doing that themselves?
Most people are not, because the problem is of awareness. If the person comes out with a health conditioning, which means it's a many years of discomfort and pain or torture or suffering the person has carried within himself or herself, and because he did or she did not fix it in early stages, has now become a health conditioning.
Oh, so would if something's long term like that, then could the person expect the healing to take as long, or can they even have an expectation of how long it might be to be healed? Could it be fast? Would it need to be slow? You know, is there an integration of learning that goes along with the healing? Elaborate a bit for us.
The main thing is, for example, let's say if somebody has a problem with knees.
Uh-huh.
Now knees, what do knees represent? Knees represent transportation, supporting the body weight, flexibility, and when people fall down on the knees, they are praying and surrendering. So I'm just using one example. Mm-hmm. So what that really means, that when it comes to the question of flexibility versus rigidity, or surrendering to divine or non-surrendering to divine, and those are the issues for that person. And maybe it's a burden the person is carrying is a lot more than person is designed for. So all those things, when you carry it for a long period of time within your consciousness through your feelings and thought patterns, as someplace to go. And what you thought was normal was not normal. And now the chickens are coming home to roost in form of a disease. And the guidance here is that if something is bothering you, catch it as early as you can. Don't let your discomfort become a suffering, and don't let your suffering become pain. Don't let your pain become torture, and then your torture will never ever become your disease. The problem is, because people lack that personal self-awareness, they don't know how they caused it. And when you follow your spiritual practices like meditations and prayers and reading scriptures, people are becoming more sensitive and aware, and they are catching those problems earlier and earlier. In essence, what they are doing is, by following their own spiritual practices, they are avoiding future health problems.
That's very exciting. I feel really hopeful about this, and I'd like to hear more about this. We're going to take a break, and I know the audience here has a lot of questions. We're going to come up with some more questions, and we'd like to hear more. Thank you for watching.
Wow, this is a professional.